So let's quickly discuss homework questions first. So I'm going to go to the homework questions. This was the homework question. So we will discuss it quickly and I will keep asking you guys also. So question 11 was that determine if the number is rational or irrational. State yes in the correct column. So what about 2 pi? Adil, what do you think? Rational or irrational? 2 pi. But am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So can you answer this, Adil bete? What do you think? 2 pi is rational number or irrational number?
Ma'am, it's having pi, so irrational.
Very nice. It's having pi, so it is irrational number. So, we will discuss this also. In the worksheet, we will solve in detail that what kind of numbers are irrational and what kind of numbers are rational number. So what about 7 by 5? What do you think?
Ma'am,
Gigi, Ayan?
it's a rational number.
It's a rational number. So why it is rational?
And because after the division, the number is not going like it's stopped. Like more decimal places are not there. Only one decimal place.
That's right. So what kind of decimal is this? Answer is 1.4. What kind of decimal is this? We have discussed 3 different kinds of decimals.
Ma'am, terminating.
Very right. It's a
Terminating.
Hybrid.
terminating decimal. So it's a rational number. Very good. So next is square root of 81. Taha, can you tell me? Square root of 81.
Ma'am, it is a rational.
It's a rational number. Why?
Since it is a square.
That's right. It's a perfect square number. And you know that the answer is 9. So 9 is a rational number. So that's why square root of 81 is also a rational number. What about square root of 3? Sal?
Irrational.
Irrational. So Sal, can you tell us the reason also? If you know the reason. So alright, Adil, can you tell me the reason?
Ma'am, it is not perfect square of any number.
Very good. Excellent. It's not a perfect square. So the answer is not a whole number. Answer is a decimal number. So the number inside a root, if it's not a perfect number, so the root is irrational. So we are going to discuss this topic in detail in the worksheet today also. All right. So moving on to next question. So I told you yesterday very clearly, okay, this question is 6 marks question and it's about proportion. All right. So instead of solving like this, we will apply the 3 steps which we discussed yesterday also. What were those 3 steps? What was the first step? Write write down in form of
Fraction.
in form of fraction या ratio. So sugar is unknown, so I will
Ratio.
put sugar here. All right. So I'm comparing two quantities, sugar and the cake. ठीक है, quantity of sugar or the weight of sugar with the number of cakes. So if there were 12 cakes, so the sugar required was 198.
198 grams.
If there are 7 cakes, so this is the unknown we
X.
need to find out. This is the step 1. ठीक है? Whenever there is proportion question and the two quantities are compared, so I will use all the 3 steps. This is step 1. So now I need to put arrows. Can you tell me what kind of relation cakes and sugar is having? Ji bete?
Proportion.
That's right.
Direct.
So Awadh,
Direct.
why it is direct proportion?
Ma'am, because if there will be more cake, then we will need more sugar.
That's right. If the number of cakes are more, we need more sugar. So the arrows will go in the same direction. So I have seen this mistake. Even if you put the arrows correctly, the equation is still wrong. Why? I don't know why, Vese. But you need to follow the direction of arrow, like x by 188, 198, 7 by 12. So the equation would be x by 198. I need to follow the direction of arrow, 7 by 12, right? So now I can cross multiply. So this will be 12x is equal to
Is equal to
7 multiplied
198.
by 198. I'm
One.
not
One
multiplying.
three eight six.
I'm not
1386.
multiplying here. 1386 is the answer, but if I will multiply here, so I will, change this question into a difficult calculation. So I will not do that. I will write down x is equal to 7 multiplied by 198 to in the so now I can do. So can I multiply 198? Can I divide this or cancel these two? अगर मैं इसको 6 से divide करूँ 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18, 6 3s are 18. ठीक है? So this is making the calculation easy. Are you understanding this step? Why I haven't
Yes, ma'am.
multiplied 7 with 198? Because that will give me a 4-digit number, and that will dividing it with 12 again. So I might make mistake. And instead of, if I'm solving this in 1 minute, so I will solve that in 2 minutes probably. So I'm keeping my calculation simple. So now I can multiply these. 7 into 33 is
231.
231. And half of 231 is 2 ones are 2,
One
2
one
ones are 2,
one one five point
115
five.
bird.
5
One and
point
fifteen
5.
point five.
So 115.5 gram is your answer. All right. So the B part. Again, it's a proportion question. So the first step, what are the two quantities that are compared? Jitaha,
Ma'am, the number of students and the number of
students
days.
and that's
Number
right.
of
So what is the unknown? How
and the
long?
number. Ma'am, the food is 75. More students there.
So what is the unknown? How long? Is it the time
Days
or the student? Days.
and
So it
days.
means I will keep the days on the right side because it is unknown. So days and students. This is what we are comparing. I am comparing days with students. Number of days, number of students. So now if you see, if I'm going to write down the data. So there were 125 students and the food was enough for
15
16
days.
days.
16 days.
If there are 75 students, we need to find out how many days the food will be enough.
And they think 75 more students.
Oh, oh sorry, thank you for telling me, if
200
75
students.
more students, so how many students
200.
would be there?
200.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. So now there are 200 students and I need to find how many
X.
days the same food will take how many days to finish. So now the first step is done. I have written the quantities in the form of ratio. Now the second step, putting of arrows. So what kind of relation is this? Number of students and the days the
Inverse.
food would be enough.
Direct.
Inverse.
Direct.
Indirect.
Adil,
Indirect.
think like this. So if the students will be more, so the food will be utilized in less days.
Oh, uh,
ठीक है?
yeah.
ज्यादा इस तरह याद रखें ज्यादा खाने वाले लोग आ गए हैं तो the food will be utilized in the less days. All right.
Ma'am,
So
but we can
it
recite
means
Bismillah.
what?
Ma'am, we
Oh,
can recite Bismillah.
so basically we are assuming that reciting Bismillah is a constant in both cases. Are you getting the point? Except for number of students and number of
Good
days,
idea था.
all all other all other things are constant. So Taha meaning by कि we are reciting Bismillah in the first case also. Are you getting the point? So we were reciting Bismillah when there were 125 students. Still it took 16 days. And now we are reciting Bismillah again, but there are 200 students. So, the number of days will not be same. All right. So it's in inverse proportion. This is the second step. Now I need to make the equation. So I will follow the direction of the arrow. This is x by 16 is equal to what will come here?
One, one, 120 by 200. 125 by 200.
125
125 by
by
200.
200. That's right. So just follow the direction because you have placed the arrows so carefully. Just follow the direction of the arrow. X by 16, 125 by 200. Now you can cross multiply. So this would be 200x is equal to 125 by 16. Sorry, 125 multiply by 16.
Multiply by 16.
That's right. Multiply by 16. So now you can find out x. I'm still not
And then
multiplying,
you can
Ayan.
do
Ji?
x is equal to 125 multiplied by 65.
2000.
By 200. 2000?
Yes, I think it's 2000.
Yes, ma'am.
What is
2000.
2000? What is 2000, bete? Oh, the
125
multiplied by
multiplication.
16.
But we will
Ma'am,
not
2000.
multiply it. All right. So I'm not multiply. I'm not gonna multiply because I will in fractions simplification comes before multiplication. So this you need to remember, to make the calculation simple. So I can divide these both because they are both divisible by 25. So 25 fives are and 25
8s are.
eights are. So now I can cancel this. 8 twos are 16. So my answer is 10. What will be the unit?
Days.
Days. So when there is word problem, always write the unit with the answer. 10 days is your answer. All right. If you solve the question like this in the paper, so you will get exact 3 marks because all the 3 steps are there. Correct answer, identification of the proportion, and the intermediate calculation also. So moving on to next question. I hope you were getting the same answer in the homeworks. So moving on to next
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
So this is very interesting question. So this is question from sequences and patterns. So the first 4 patterns are made using gray and white tiles. You need to find out the nth term formula of gray tiles. All right. So I told you that in this kind of question, always make the sequence first. So how many gray tiles in pattern 1?
6.
6. So how many in pattern 2?
10.
10.
10.
1.
How many
14.
in pattern
14.
3?
14.
14. And
14.
how
And then
many in
it's
pattern 4?
18.
18.
18.
18.
And so on. This is the sequence we are um, this is the sequence for which we are going to find out the nth term formula. So now nth term formula, who can tell me what is nth term formula?
Ma'am, can I?
When I,
जी 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 बेटे.
when
A1
an is
is
equals
equal
to
to
Yes, a1
a1
plus
plus n minus 1
n minus
into D.
1
d.
into d. All right. So remember that in this formula, although there are 4 variables, but I will put value of 2 only, a1 and d. ठीक है, ये आपने याद रखना है because ये students forget about it or they get confused then what to do now, what is n and what is an. So an is equal to what is a1? Hamsal, what is a1?
6.
6.
6.
That's right, 6 plus n minus 1. What is d?
4.
4.
That's right, d is second term minus first term, so d is 4. So I will multiply it with 4. So now I can open the bracket simply, 6 plus 4 and minus 4. So what will be the answer? 4n plus.
Two.
4n plus 2.
Two.
So I can quickly
2
verify
plus
also.
4.
That's right. If I put n is equal to 3, so 4 threes are 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So that's correct. Are you getting this? Verification, it's not necessary. Okay, you need to write down verify and then you need to put the value and verify also. You can just do it mentally. So just put any n. So I know 4 terms. So I can put n 1, 2, 3 or 4. If I put n4, so it is 4 fours are 16 plus 2 18. So it's verified. Verification of the question or answer is for your own sake, not for the sake of the checker. Okay? So you can just mentally do it and just move forward. So next question is simplify each expression, leaving your answer in positive index form. And interestingly, there are 3 parts and there are total 9 marks. 3 parts, 9 marks. Gee. So who can tell me what will be the answer of A part? G. Who can tell me?
When can I?
Can I?
Um, Taha can tell me the answer of the numbers, and Avat can tell me what will be the power. Ji, Taha, what will be the number in the answer?
Ma'am, it will be 32. X.
It will be 32?
X.
No, no, not 32.
Mm,
8 into
64.
4 into 2, not 32.
64.
64. That's right. Avat,
64.
what will be the power?
Ma'am, 12.
X raised to power 12. This is your answer. So it's a 2 marks question, so I have intentionally did an extra step. Else I can write down the answer directly also, but I did this step as a solution step. All right. So this is law 1. So this intermediate step is basically for the intermediate for the one extra number which is there. Okay. If this question is 1 mark question in the paper, so I can just directly write down the answer. But because it is 2 marks question, so I have done intermediate step also. All right. So moving on to B part. So what should we do? Actually, there are many ways.
Law
So
1.
what should I do? So law 1, all right.
Apply
I can
law
apply
1.
law 1. That's right. Apply law 1
Ma'am,
here.
since
So
since
5
there is a basic
P3.
question, first we
P3.
plus
apply law
minus.
1 then law.
That's right. Apply law 1. So this is your first step. So then 5 minus 3 would be p square. This is also p square. Now what to do?
Ma'am, law
Now
5.
what should I do? Law 5?
Law 2.
Then can I?
Oh,
Law
law
2.
2. Law 2, Avad.
Law 2.
Because the base is same. So 2 minus 2. Law 2. What is 2 minus 2?
0.
0.
What will be the
P
answer
is
then?
equal to P is equal to 1.
1.
1.
1. P is equal to 1. Nahi. Just 1 is the answer of this question. So basically, I have applied 3 laws. And this question was also probably, sorry, it's 2 marks question. Law 2, then I have applied law 6. Okay, 3 steps.
This
So if
question,
you,
then this question should be a 3 marks.
this is more tricky question, the last one. That is 4 marks question because there are multiple laws which are used. Actually, if you can, just cancel this p square here. You say p square cancel ho gaya p square se. So thus you can write down 1 directly here. Are you getting the point? But we are basically focusing on the different laws and their applications. So instead of cutting just p square with p square and answer will still be 1, I am applying 2 more steps so that I can apply 2 more laws. You know that? All right. So moving on to last question. So how should I start?
Ma'am, can
Jeeta, huh?
ma'am, are we going to multiply 2 into 3?
2 into 3? Which 2?
In
Ma'am,
the
the
part,
we'll use law 3.
Yes, that's right. Awadh is right. Law
Power into
3
power.
should be, yeah, that's right. Power of power I need to do first. Acha, there are few laws which get priority. So you see, power of power gets priority. Negative power, if it is in the question, gets priority. So it means that I need to apply law 3 first. So this will be 3 cube power of power. X ki power 3 twos are 6. So we are going to solve it step by step. All right. So this is the first step I'm doing. So below it will be 2x into x square y square. So this is law 3 which you have applied in this step. Is it clear, 8 class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that makes sense. So you have applied only law 3 in the first step. So now what should I do? Now let's solve the numerator, combine the numerator, and then I will combine the denominator. So if I combine the numerator, beta please mute the mic. Mute the mic, please. Somebody's mic is on. All right. Sorry. So also I wanted to see how many new students are in the class. Khadija is here, Ishal, because when asking for the answer, I'm only asking some students. So Khadija, Ishal, Ali is also there. So you need to answer from now on. Taiba is also there. All right. So I will keep asking you guys also. So, so now back to the question. All right. So Ali, can you tell me what should I do next? I have applied law 3 already. What should I do now? It's a 4 marks question, and in the answer key it would be written give 1 mark to each correct step.
ma'am,
Ji
Ali is
beta.
And
saying that
he's saying that his mic is not
Ali is
working.
saying that his mic is not working.
Whose mic is not working?
Ali mic is
Ali's.
not working. He is
Oh,
saying.
all right. Ali's mic is not working. So Khadija, can you tell me, beta, what should I do now? 3 cube x 6. So I will write down 3 cube is 27. So x6 into x6 into x, how many x we will be having? 6 plus 1,
1,
y 4. And in the denominator, it is 2x 1 plus 2 y square. Which law I have used?
law 1. Law 1. And law number 1.
That's right.
Law 1.
That's right. It's law 1. That's right, Taiba. So now you can just move on to the next step. So next step would be 27, because 27 I cannot do anything further. X raised to power 7, y raised to power 4. And in the denominator it is 2x cube y square. So now I can apply the last step. 27 by
Law
2,
2.
law 2.
3.
X raised to power 7 minus 3, y raised to power 4 minus 2 divided by 2. So the final answer would be
Law,
27
law
x
number
raised to
2.
power
Law number 2.
4 That's right. Law 2, I have applied y square by 2. All right. So, bete, if like in the final answer, for example, there is a negative power coming. For example, this y is having power minus 2. So because the question says leave your answer in positive index form, so I will take the reciprocal. Are you getting the point? Right now, the answer is perfectly fine. There is no need to apply any further law. But if, for example, my answer is having a negative power, so then I will take the reciprocal also. All right? Are you getting this point? So right now it's not
Yes, ma'am.
required. This is your final answer. But because the question says write down the answer in positive index form, can you see in the question? It's written
Yes.
in the positive index form here. So it means you cannot have a negative power in the answer. All right. So then you need to change it. So these questions we have done yesterday. Moving on to this is also done. So this is the question we need to solve. All right. So question number 17. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so,
Yes.
so this is very interesting question. Maria says these digits have one line of symmetry and rotational symmetry of order 3. Is she correct? If not, explain her mistake. So Maria is saying that these two digits have one line of symmetry and the rotational symmetry of order 3. So what do you think?
Ma'am, it's
She
wrong.
is correct. Is she correct?
Wrong.
First of all, line of symmetry, one line
Ma'am,
of
it's wrong.
symmetry. It's wrong. She is definitely wrong. But this question is, how many marks question? 2 marks question. So she is definitely 2 marks are not. If she's correct, so she is not correct. So then how you will explain her mistake? What is the mistake
Can
she's
I
doing?
check?
Ji bete,
Uh,
ji bete.
these have a line of symmetry 0 because they are irregular shapes and rotational symmetry of 4.
Acha bete, we are basically not talking about both numbers together. She's talking about these digits. It means we are talking about 4 separately and 5 separately, probably. So, if you will say line of symmetry, so what is line of symmetry for 4?
Zero.
Zero.
That's right. So, you can explain it in this way. For digit 4, line of symmetry is. So,
Yeah,
first of all,
zero.
you will write down she is wrong. This is very important that before explaining, you need to write down if she's right or wrong. So, you will write down she is wrong. For digit 4, line of symmetry is 0. Rotational symmetry is, what is rotational symmetry of digit 4?
One.
1.
One.
All right. So for digit 5, for digit 5,
The line of symmetry one. Line of symmetry
Line
one.
of symmetry is 1.
line of symmetry is 1
And rotation
and
two.
rotation symmetry is
2.
Two.
2.
Two.
So this is one way of explaining. But if like you think just like Taiba have answered, she was taking them together. So if you are taking it together, so then how will you answer? Then you will say 45. She is wrong because 45 is having 0 line of symmetry and the rotational symmetry is 1. All right. Why rotational symmetry is 1? Because if you rotate them both together, so when this will rotate it like this, it will become 50. This will become 5 will come in the first position. So rotational symmetry will not be achieved. Rotational symmetry would be 1 only. All right. So both answers will be considered correct, but because she's talking about these digits. He's not talking about a number, he's talking about digits. So you need to answer them separately. All right. So this explanation will give you 2 marks in the paper. So moving on to next question. So from which topic this question number 18 is taken from?
Polygons.
Polygons.
Polygon.
Polygons, but mm, specifically from which topic of polygons?
Finding unknown
Finding
angles.
unknown.
Unknown angles, yeah, interior angles of polygon.
Finding
All
unknown.
right, that's right. Interior angles. So what should I do?
When can I?
Sum of all
Jeeta,
interior angles.
that's
At
right.
first, we
First
will
of all,
find the total interior angle.
that's right. I need to find out total interior angle. How many corners are there?
7.
7 corners. So
4,
the
5, 6,
total,
7.
that's right, total interior angle
360.
is equal to
N
total
minus 2.
interior angle n minus 2 into
900.
180 degree. 360 ni 180 degree. N is 7. So 7 minus 2 into 180. So basically it's a
5
heptagon. 5 into 180 is
900.
900.
900 degree. So the total interior angle of this polygon is 900. So now I can say angle sum of polygon लिख लें या heptagon लिख लें. So angle sum of heptagon
When can
Jivite Taha, what will it be?
Ma'am, if we add 120 plus 160 plus 92 plus 150 plus 155 plus 60 plus
All right.
85, and
Hmm.
so we will get the answer
Hmm. Ji, what will be the answer?
762 degree.
762. So I'm skipping one step, but you need to write down that step also where you need to add all the 7 angles. You will write down x plus 92 plus 150 plus this is equal to 900. So x will be 900 minus 762.
130. X will be
100
138. 130.
138 degree. So that makes sense also because x is an obtuse angle. Can you see from here? X is obtuse angle and that is the angle I'm looking for. All right. So this answer is a sensible answer. How many marks this question was having? This question was having, I don't know why, but it's a 5 marks
5
question.
marks.
5 marks in the paper. So then you should definitely be writing that step which I have skipped here. That x plus all the other 6 angles is equal to 900. All right. So moving on to question number 19. So find the mean. And interestingly, this is also 4 marks question. So this, I think, so we have practiced this a lot. What to do? What kind of
And we
data is
make 2
this?
more columns.
Can I?
We will add 2 more
No,
columns.
Ayan is saying we will make 2 more columns. Do I need to make 2 more columns?
No.
So we make 2 more columns when there is a
Range.
inequality. Inequality, yes, there is a range or the interval is there. So Ayan, the x, this is your x value, na? And this is your f value. So there is no need to make 2 columns. So, but if you want to make 1 column, so you can. And that column also for fx. Okay, that will make your question easy. Instead of writing fx below, just do it here. All right. So just make another column for fx. So what will be the first one? 0 into 15.
0.
0.
0.
What is 39? 39 into 1.
39.
39.
39. What is 24 into 2?
48.
48. What is 17 into 3?
51.
51.
51. What is 5 into 4?
20.
20.
20. So now because I know that the formula is x bar is equal to sigma
Fx over
fxy
sigma f.
sigma f. So I can find out sigma f from here. Just add all these values. And I can add all these values to get sigma fx. I will add all these values. So who can add and tell me what is the sum?
158.
100.
150,
8.
150, 8,
8.
158. Malia, is it 158, bete?
This is
Ma'am,
sigma
it's a
sigma
100.
f.
Ma'am, it's
This is of
100.
100.
100?
Sigma fx is
Oh,
150.
Sigma F is 100.
oh, this is 100. Oh, this is written in the question also. 100 students. All right. This is 100 and this is 158.
58.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Very easy calculation. 158 divided by 100. What will be the x bar?
1.58.
1.58. I hope all of you know how to deal with this. There was a decimal at the end
Yes, ma'am.
because we are dividing by 100. So move the decimal 2 step backward. So what will be the unit? Because this is a word problem.
Sibling?
That's right. The mean
You
number
said
of
we
siblings.
estimated.
So should we estimate it? Because the siblings cannot be a decimal number. So what should be the answer then?
2
2.
sibling estimated.
1.6. 2.
Two siblings. That's right. So two siblings. So now you see if in the answer key, for example, I was ignoring this fact that I need to write down the unit with the answer. So now I will not bother about it. I will just say answer is 1.58. But the answer key, the checker or the examiner focuses on the rubric or the answer key. Answer key will be having two siblings. So why? Because I have forgot to write down the answer unit. So when I was going to write down the unit, are you getting this point? So even if you're doing Cambridge or the, federal board exam, you need to see that the answer should be making sense. 1.58 cannot be the answer of the number of siblings. So you need to round it off. All right. All right. So should we move on to next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Again.
Yeah.
So just look at this. Last 8 parts are for the histogram and the frequencies. So what should I do here? The free 4 marks, the weight and the number of students. So I know frequency goes in the y-axis. So which one is frequency? Which one is frequency?
The
Weight or
weight,
So, student,
the
weight
number of
or
students?
the number of students.
Our weight cannot be the frequency because this is x. Remember that हम x का mid point निकालते हैं. अगर मुझे इसका मीन निकालना होता तो मैं दो
Yes, ma'am.
टेबल जस्ट लाइक अयान वाज सेइंग मैं 2 कॉलम एक्स्ट्रा बनाती लेकिन मुझे मीन नहीं निकालना मुझे इसका क्या करना है हिस्टोग्राम कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है सो नाउ आई नो दैट एक्स एक्सिस पे आई विल टेक वेट एंड ऑन वाई एक्सिस आई विल टेक द फ्रीक्वेंसी या नंबर ऑफ students. All right, so now I will draw only 4 bars. So I need to take the values here. So I will say this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's a histogram. It means the bars should be connected. So these I need 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this bar is for 65 to 70. This bar is for 70 to 75. This is, believe me, fixed free marks in the paper. So 82, 85. These are the 4 bars I'm going to draw. 65 to 70. So the number of students are 4. This is 2. This is 4. So I will draw the bar here. Right. So now 70 to 75, there are 10 students. I will make a bar here. But please ignore that the bars are not very straight. But you can use a straight one. So I'm just giving you a concept. All right. So 75 to 80, the value is 8. So around here, I will draw the third bar. So are you getting the concept? Last one is again 4. So I will draw a bar here. So are you getting the concept? G class 8.
And shouldn't we make that? Yes, I mean that
Heartbeat.
heartbeat.
That's
Yes,
right.
we
I
will.
forgot to make that heartbeat in the start. But yes, you can. So you can, yes, make a heartbeat in the start also. So you can start these columns, these bars from the a bit further. All right. So leave this one space here. So when I was done with the scaling, then I remembered, okay, I should put up heartbeat also. So this is the symbol of continuity. All right. So, but is the concept clear? Like what you need to do if the histogram is there. All right. So there are two mistakes you can do in this kind of question, or which students usually do. One is they will take the axis wrong. So remember that frequency always go on the y-axis. All right. So this is the first mistake which you can do in this question. So frequency should be on the y-axis. All right. And the second mistake which you can make is that you are not joining the bars because it's a histogram. So the bars should be joined. All right. So these, oh, so is this clear? This was the
Yes,
last
yes,
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
All right. So, so we are left with how many minutes?
Well,
Mm,
23, 20, 23.
20 minutes.
15
So,
minutes.
bete,
Okay.
15, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So,
25
all
minutes.
right. So, I'm going to share the worksheet we will be doing next. This is a revision worksheet from topic real number system. All right. So, we will just quickly recall, okay, what are rational and irrational numbers, and then we will start discussing. So, just give me a minute. Let me open that worksheet uh, for you, and then I will share the screen again. All right. So Haya is also there. Assalamu alaikum, Haya.
Hello, Sam, ma'am. Sorry for joining late, ma'am, because at the morning there was raining and the net was gone. That's why.
All right. So ये रहा Taha is also here. ताहा पहले तो आप ठीक ठाक ताहा थे, अब आप सडनली ये रहा ताहा क्यों बन गए?
मैम मम्मा की क्लास खत्म हो गई थी तो मैं लैपटॉप पे आ गया।
मैं पहले गुम हो गया था।
हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, that's why. All right. So I'm stopping, like I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and then I will share after I will open that worksheet. So just give me a minute. All right, but I'm going to start sharing the screen again. Uh, so you need to tell me that can you see the screen or not? So who is this? We should
Ma'am, it
know
is
such
written
a
Bacha.
brilliant
Ma'am, ये
Ma'am, ये
Amshad.
Bacha.
bacha.
So
Ma'am, new
Java
character
yoga.
unlock. Ma'am, new character
Oh,
unlock.
so Moise is not in the class today. Was he in the other classes?
Ma'am, he said I have to go somewhere.
All right. So, Bete, this is the worksheet in front of you. So, basically, this worksheet is related to real numbers. So, for question number one, find any four rational numbers between 2 by 5 and 1 by 2. So, the real numbers question or the rational number questions can come in the paper in two ways. One is this way, that write down the numbers between these two numbers.
Ma'am, can you
And the
zoom the camera?
other one is plotting the real numbers on the number line, just like we just solved it in the past paper. All right. So if this kind of question comes, how can you answer? You need to write down four rational numbers between 2 by 5 and 1 by 2. What should I do? Any
Ma'am, can
ideas?
you zoom the screen?
Ji, I
Convert
can.
them into decimal.
That's correct. We need to change them into the decimal number because because I can it's difficult to comprehend the fractions. I know 1 by 2 is zero point 0.5, it's half, but 2 by 5 is difficult for me to comprehend. So let's convert them into the decimal. 1 by 2 is zero point 0.5. What is 2 by 5 in decimal? 2 by 5. 4.
2. 0.4.
0.4. So basically we need to find out four rational numbers between 0.4 and 0.5. But the problem is that rational numbers 0.4 and 0.5 are just next to each other. If this is 0.4, this is 0.5. So what kind of numbers are in between them? It looks like they are just numbers next to each other. So what are the
0.4.
numbers? 0.4,
0.41.
4,
41.
1. All right.
Zero,
Any other number?
425.
0.04.
0.4. 99999.
499. All right. Any other? 0.
0.444.
545.
0.45 or 0.4397. So basically, there are infinite numbers in between these two decimal numbers. So you can write down any of the numbers. This was quite smart, Taha. It is basically a recurring number 0.4 and 9 with a bar. Very interesting. So that's correct. So I told you just now, okay, this kind of question can come in the paper in two ways. First of all, it can come as a like you need to plot it on the number line, or the second way is basically just like this question that you need to identify or write down the number in between the two rational numbers. All right. So moving on to this question. Question number 2. Question is circle the rational numbers. So before solving this question, let's discuss quickly or let's recall what are irrational numbers. What kind of numbers are irrational? Who can tell me quickly? What are irrational numbers?
Ma'am, can I?
Jijita.
Non-terminating and non-recurring numbers.
That's
Ma'am,
right. One is
non-terminating
one.
and non-recurring.
That's right. One kind of numbers are non-terminating, non-recurring. And pi is also one of them. So I will write down here, pi is also one of them. What are the other kind of numbers which are irrational?
Ma'am, which are not a perfect cube
That's
or
right.
a
So I will write down non-solvable roots.
Complex numbers.
Complex numbers are not irrational. Complex numbers are not real numbers actually. Complex numbers are not even real numbers. Real numbers are of two types, rational and irrational. Complex numbers are another type of numbers which are not even in real numbers. All right. So these are the two types. So keeping in mind that irrational numbers are either non-terminating, non-recurring, or the non-solvable roots. So now move on to the questions. 3 by 4. So I will ask you one by one. So let's say who will answer this? So who is you? So it's fine, Badsha. I'm going to record everything and I will, forward it to the SLT members also. Keep doing this. So 3 by 4. What do you think 3 by 4 is in the decimal form? 3 by 4 is so
7.5. 0.75.
0.7.
0.75.
That's right. Ayan is answering. 0.75. What kind of decimal is this?
Terminated.
Terminating decimal. So, beta, you need to complete this worksheet in the notebook. So, when you will do question number 2, you need to give the reason also. So, you need to identify these numbers as rational and irrational numbers and give reason also. Are you getting this question now? So, I want you to do it on the notebook along with the reason. Like 3 by 4 is 0.75 and it's a terminating decimal. So, it is a rational number. I'm going to circle it. All right. So now what about this one, 2.72 with a bar? So who will answer? I want Lareb is also not in the class.
Ma'am,
Khadija
can
to
I?
answer. Khadija, what is 2.72 with a bar? What kind of decimal is this?
Ma'am, can I?
Ji bete.
Ma'am, it is a rational.
Terminating.
It's a rational number, but what is the reason?
Ma'am, since
Because
it
it
is
is terminating.
It is a recurring decimal, not terminating. It's a recurring. I told you that we can write down recurring numbers in two ways. Okay, one is that if I write down 2.7272 and so on. Another way of writing it is that whatever is the repeating pattern, I will put a bar on that. Okay, so this is also a recurring decimal, but this bar is telling me that 7272 is repeating again and again. All right, so it's a recurring decimal, hence it is a rational number. 14 by 4. What is this equal to? 7 by 2 to 3.5. What kind of decimal is this? Better be quick. So keep answering. Let's not answer anyone. Just
Terminating.
keep answering. It's a terminating decimal, so you need to circle.
It is
Square root of
terminated.
90. That's right. Square root of 90.
Irrational.
Irrational.
Irrational number. Why?
Ma'am,
Because
since
it
Because
is
it
it's
is
not
not
not a
a
perfect
solvable.
number.
square or cube.
That's right. Not a perfect square. Non-solvable root. So what about 3.6 with a bar?
Rational.
Recurring.
It's a rational number
Recurring.
because it is recurring decimal. So what about square root of 2?
Irrational because it is not a
Not
perfect square.
solvable.
Irrational. Very right. So remember when you researched about irrational numbers, so some of you wrote, okay, square root of 2 was the first irrational number that was discovered. By which mathematician? Can you recall which mathematician invented square root of 2? When we did research about this, so many of you have wrote this that they figured out that square root of 2 is an irrational number. So remember Pythagoras and the Pythagoreans, the students of Pythagoras. So they invented this. All right. Square root 2 was first irrational number that was discovered by mathematicians. Moving on to square root of 13,
Irrational.
irrational, same reason. It's not a perfect square. 4.6,
Terminating and rational.
terminating decimals, so irrational. Square root of 25,
The square. This
Rational.
rational.
rational because it is a solvable root. 3 by 11,
Recurring.
it's a recurring decimal. So what will be the answer then?
Rational.
0.27 bar.
0.27 with the bar. It's a rational number. What is the reason? Because it's a recurring decimal. This is very interesting 8th class that the 11 and the 7 divisor, they both answer in a recurring decimal. If the divisor is 11 or 7, so the answer is recurring decimal. But the very interesting fact is that 22 by 7 is the only fraction where the denominator is 7, but it's a non-recurring decimal. 22 by 7 is considered as the value of pi. All right. So that's why mathematicians keep finding out the repeating pattern. They thought maybe the repetition will come after, some division. So they keep dividing, keep dividing. So one Indian mathematician basically divided pi so long that that he stored the answer in a file, and that file was having size in MBs. So like you can imagine now how long was the file or how big was the file. Okay. So why mathematicians think that pi is probably not irrational because the divisor 7 is a special divisor. All right. Are you getting this point, Bite?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next one is minus 21 by 2. So who's going to answer? Haya, what do you think? Rational or irrational?
Ma'am, can I tell?
Ji Adil,
Irrational
irrational?
because of negative
Why?
sign.
Oh,
Negative
so
sign.
when we said negative sign makes a number irrational, it's an it's a so only two types of
Rational.
numbers are irrational: non-terminating, non-recurring decimal, and the non-solvable roots. बाकी सारे rational हैं. It's a rational number. What about 0.17?
Recurring.
7 के ऊपर बार है, इसका मतलब it's a recurring decimal. ठीक है. What about minus 9.5? Adil, can you tell me now?
Terminating.
It's a terminating decimal, simple. So it's a negative sign is not telling you anything. So it's also a rational number. Square root of 61.
Irrational.
Not solvable.
It's not solvable, so it's irrational. 1 by 50. What will be the answer? 1 by 50.
0.02.
That's right, 0.02. So it's a terminating decimal, hence rational number. You can circle it. Square root of 5.
Not
Not solvable.
solvable.
Irrational, not solvable. So just two things are irrational. Not solvable roots,
Irrational.
non-terminated. That's right. 3 pi.
Irrational.
Irrational.
Irrational. That's right. Minus 2 by 36.
Irrational.
Rational.
Can anyone tell me the answer? What is the answer? It is rational, but what is
Negative
the answer?
18. negative 0.18.
नहीं 1/18 होगा ना, negative 0.18, no
One
no,
thing, let's
1/18 है ना बेटे, 1/18, it's a recurring decimal, I think so.
0.055. Like 5 is
A
repeating.
recurring, all right, so 0.05 with a repeating sign, so it's a recurring decimal. So next one, minus pi,
Irrational.
irrational because pi is there, 2/5. अभी हमने in first
Rational.
question we did it, it's
Rational.
0.4, it's a rational number, terminating decimal. Pi plus 5,
Irrational.
Irrational.
irrational, irrational. Pi is making, all the 5 is rational, but when it is added to an irrational number, so this whole becomes irrational. 0,
Rational.
rational. 0 is a whole number, you know. Square root of 4, square root of 5,
Irrational.
Irrational.
irrational. Although this is rational, square root of 4, इसका आंसर 2 है. But when it is added to an irrational number, this is whole is irrational. 8.3,
Recurring and rational.
recurring,
Rational.
very good, and rational. So you can solve the rest of them. Can you?
Rational.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. You can solve the rest on the notebooks. So we will just quickly do the third question. Which of the four given number is not rational? Which of them is not rational?
Square root of 16.
This is the one. That's right. Why square root of 16 is not rational?
It is the only proper square, perfect square.
That's right, because
It
its
is a
answer is a
perfect
whole
square.
number. It's a perfect square or it is a solvable root. So square root of 16 is basically 4. So it's a solvable root. So, answer is fine. So G. So you need to solve these questions also on your own. Can you see question number 4?
Yes.
So in the homework, I will share the homework soon in the class group. Question number 4 is just sort them out. All right. So then question number 5 is not there. So one question in the homework is this question number 4, and I will share more questions also. Okay? It's the weekend, so you need to solve some questions on the notebook also, bete. So I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bete. So it's almost the class time is finished. So that's all, everyone. Thank you for joining the class, and I hope to see you all on Monday in the school, inshallah. So take care. Allah Hafiz. See you on Monday.
Allah Hafiz,
Allah.
ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz,
Allah
ma'am.
Hafiz.
Allah
Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, bete.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz.